There we are. Hello, people. As usual, here I am, a little bit late after making a coffee. Oh, hope everybody else is doing okay today because I am tired, but we're gonna take it chill today. So, say hello to Lancet. I have made myself a little Lancer on my Scrub account using one of the free boost cards that I got from my support cube. Hello, Vanriel. And all I've done so far is just put 2 points into move speed. That's it. I suppose you could probably start off by trying to figure out what to do with my envoy path, but boy, I do not know what we need. Obviously Hymn of Doom, but how do we get there? Evasion? I don't think I want evasion, but that's just defense too. Gosh, and it's expensive to reset right now, so... Well, we'll just head straight down, why not? Grab the Hymn of Doom. We don't really need crit rate, so what if we come this way for those? I'm just going to try and take as many of these nodes as possible. We want those. Gold gear-wise, is better to use the card or just plain leveling? My experience was that I didn't quite have enough experience from just the main quest to be able to get all the way to Awakening. I used a fancy pink sprite and everything, although I did keep forgetting to use those cute cards they give you as well. So if you're leveling up from scratch, you are going to need a little more than just the a pink sprite and a blue sprite to get all the way from 0 to Awakening. Oh, that's not enough points. Move speed and reduce damage taken. Oh, that might be nice for Awakening. I can't take that. I'm not very happy with what I've done here with my path. I kind of wanted the move speed and I wanted the Hymn of Doom, but it feels like I can't take everything that I want to. What if we went here and got rid of that? I hate this path. It is not a good path. I'm just gonna use it anyway. Alright, let's go. Oh, I got points to assign here. Probably crit damage. I should wait till I have proper gear, but whatever. That should be fine. And then we'll just go full HP and the rest into defense. That'll do. Anyway, this is the experience when you start with a boost card. Or a guitar. All guitars start here. Hello, Teamish. I'm glad I was able to help. Anachi-kun! You got some bond trophies? I'm still trying to sell that one that I got, or that I found in my inventory during that stream a while back. It seems it's a little too rare that people don't want it, because they can't get the other half. I am going to do sub-bard because it's easier, and I have one. And there we are! Now, I was reviewing what went kind of, I'm not going to say wrong, but what went a little sideways on my scrub bow, and I realized that I actually didn't do my my costumes up properly with I didn't do my costumes up properly with all the effects and whatnot that I was supposed to. Alright, well, we'll pull that open for start. We're gonna need most of that stuff, yes? So this time, I have prepared, well, not that, this costume, and I got myself that neat little hat from the event that's ongoing. Gwaza Hatraf, thank you so much. Yeah, if you read the update that I put on my post page, it might have sounded like I wasn't doing very well, but I'm feeling a lot more optimistic than I was over the last couple of days. That's for sure. And then there's my Moose Feet card. So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash costume, and I don't have a lance costume either, so we're just going to use this accuracy sword and shield because it looks kind of silly. There we are. This does not look good, but it is what it is. Alright, then to get our backpacks, we're going to have to come in here under the boost area, and we can get 5 10-slot backpacks. That'll help a lot. The boost costume voucher, I don't even think that there are any that you can use for the... Yeah, there's no costumes that you can even use on the Chib or boy type. So I'll just pop that into my bank for now. We're not going to need these keys either, but not going to mess around with them too much. Oh, I didn't prepare a mount either. But I did prepare some stuff once we get to level 90. And of course dark, so that'll do for that. Alright, buff items, what am I going to take? I'm going to take one of the World VIP sprites. And I'm going to take... What else am I going to take? Ciabatta and coffee. There we go, that sounds like me. Oh yeah, enema. Navia Noble Cuisine. Alright, and then this time I'm going to go a little bit more luxurious. And I'm thinking I will get my hands on one of these Elite Guardian sprites. They're only for 1 day, but I feel like it's worth it to make sure that I get all the way to Awakening. Pretty expensive. Goodbye all my... But you can use it at the same time as the pink sprite, so I think it's worth it. One of those. Pop one of those. We'll sell that off to an NPC, and then we can equip our Harpier right away. Now, unfortunately, when I was trying to craft a weapon to be able to use for it, I got a lightning and ghost, so it's not a very good weapon, but I fortified it anyway. Yeah, we'll sell off that for our 500 gold starting money, and that's it. Let's go. Now, one of the things that people that use boost cards complain about now and then is that they kind of feel like they're trapped in Navia because it kind of just spits you out here without a quest. But in order to leave Navia, you do need to access your little quest thing that is currently hidden by my chat there. There we go. And you'll have to cycle through a couple to get the one that actually will get you out of Navia. Which I probably should have done before we started, but why not? We're gonna have to futz around in Navia for a bit here. We'll knock the card battler one out. Oh my gosh, that weapon looks so silly. I'm sorry, the costume this time doesn't look nearly as cool as I try to aim for. Just a real quick card duel tutorial. And we gotta duel her. Your cards are across your whole account, so these should knock them out, yeah. It's not a good duel deck, it's a just past the main quest duel deck. Oh, your main lance there. I do have a lance on my main account, but I haven't played it a ton. So I wasn't exactly... this is going to take too long if we do it this way. Hold on. Oh, it isn't even actually in the auto-accept one. I thought that's where it was hiding. You can tell how often I use boost cards, huh? Alright, then I'll just kind of get rid of these. Well, I'll clear out the all these quests later. And I still don't have a mount. Let's see. I must have something in my storage I can use. visible? I mean, the way that it looks here, it's either flame or fire. They really got rid of all the lightning skill. Like, there used to be the chain lightning skill that's gone now, huh? Critical. That's damage. Oh, hey, look, Hymn of Doom. There we go. That works. Oh, interesting. It's a blue quest. That's why I couldn't see it when I looked on the map. Right, then we just pick up... Oh, it started us equipped with the lance here. Can you really still use lightning when there's like literally just one lightning skill? Or is one of those mark skills also lightning? Oh yeah, there is still a thunder one there. Right, well, I should probably put that there. Yeah, that's fine. And I don't really need to open this box because I've already got a sub-weapon. Alright, we're on the way. Yeah, there's a lot of fire skills, but the Hymn of Doom is the one that I understood to be one of the strongest, like, damage skills because of how much, like, how many ticks it outputs. Ah. Hello, Igrisa. And Seiyojia. Sorry, I think I've said your name wrong the first time you've said anything, every single time you join in. In my defense, it's on a screen. It's a little bit further away from me because I thought it might be better for my eyes if the screens weren't so close. Alright, now we are free to leave Navia. And I know my character is going to look ridiculous here. This costume has got zero cohesion. But it's the case for spending a lot of money on trying to get a nice costume could be made if I didn't spend like all of my G on both my accounts on very silly things. And I just happened to have this green costume handy, so I just threw it. I got a really lucky roll on it, so it's not even bad. It just looks ridiculous. We could probably hide the sword and shield. I picked that one because it's got accuracy on it, and I felt like that would be helpful. You know what? We are about to make a mistake. We need to go talk to our little friend in Port Scandia. Because remember, the experience boost for questing is on. I don't know why I forget to go on the mount. There we go. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. There we go. Alright, so last time, when I ran on a boost card on this account, I didn't even get to level 99 on main quests, but this time we've got some pretty powerful boosts going on. So I'm optimistic that we would be able to get to Awakening today, but I actually didn't promise that, and just once we finish the main quest, if we're not at Awakening, we'll just call it, and maybe tomorrow. See how far there is left once I finish. Like, I don't have work, obviously, since I'm currently unemployed. Oh, wow, yeah, the AoE on that looks ridiculous. How much of that is just looking fancy, and how much of that is doing damage? Okay, do I have no skills that give me a... Oh, there's a blue mark. And there's your Hymn of... Oh, the animation is definitely changed. It feels like the range, sorry, for Hymn of Doom is larger. Oh. I'm underground. Am I underground or am I invisible? Throw Hymn of Doom on them? Yeah, right now I'm in quite bad gear. Wait, is this skill attacking the... Oh no, it's not. Those are just the... I thought for a second that this skill might have been attacking the gathering targets too. I don't even know what path I should be on. Is this the right path? Soul Strangle, Infernal Exile, Black Flame. Oh, okay, this is Ice and Lightning, and this one is Dark and Fire. So I think this is the right one to stay on. I've also got some mastery books as well, so depending I might do the same thing as last time and just throw a bunch of those on. Oh, right, I was also gonna come over here to the Dragon Paragon and try to get a Dark Emblem. Yeah, I could take those. So this is the gambling table with the tokens that you get in the bond dungeons. So I've got a decent number of them. I mean, I could probably skip the advanced accessories. I don't really need those. Kind of feels like I'm not going to get a dark one because last time I got it on like the first shot. Can I dye this headband actually? No, not dyeable. Alright, we're not going to sit here and just stare at the roulette table. Even if it was a free roulette. I'm thinking probably somewhere in the range of 3 to 4 hours today, so if I have to take Stella out, I will put it on like the auto Paragon roll or whatever to try and pick up one of those dark emblems. Oh, Nanashi! Hello! Just, the animation on this one is significantly different, right? Like, it's still Soul Strangler, like they didn't rename it, but like, that demon hands now? I don't think it had that animation before. Anyway. Oh geez, we're already gonna level up here, aren't we? Yeah, I think we have enough buffs that we're gonna be able to make it right to Awakening, but... we'll see, because I thought the same thing last time. Okay, I need easier access to one of these blue mark skills. Q is the one that gives you 2 red marks. Facial Smash? What is this one like? Not very impressive. Look, a whole 1 point. Oh, I know why I put this one on 3. So I like, previously I had the old skill that you could use outside of combat on 3. That's why I put it there. That means we should probably put a blue mark skill on 2. Wait, didn't this one used to... okay, it is still a gap closer. Yeah, that'll be fine. Getting distracted. Now, I don't have a good rotation either, so I'm just going to be kind of futzing around with the new skills to see how they work. I suppose I should try something other than Hymn of Doom. Did they not change the other mark ones? Okay, so that was the lightning one. What's... Triple Fire was just a buff before. It still is, yeah. Yeah, it's still a pretty good gap closer. And I feel like the range on Hymn of Doom is larger. And then the triple ice Mark 1 was just healing and shield before, yeah? Is there a skill that does double ice? Maybe I have to be on the other path for that. Alright, I see. Yeah, so they didn't really adjust the mark skills that much. Just of animation, they still basically do the same thing. Oh hey, Great Jedi! Horse racing game. I want to say Uma Musume? That's the only one that comes to mind, or am I way off? Hey, look at that. Oh, are they still letting the enemies attack me while we're in a cutscene here? Right. While we're stuck listening to them, what should we do? I think I actually really like using Verdandi. Festival Muramasa should be a good choice. Yeah, this is the quest is too hard for you. Go back to Navia. Let's see if I can remember last time when I sussed out the 3-step way to get the second section. Oh dear. My healing eidolons are otherwise disposed. Kotonoha. There we go. We're fine. Looks a bit silly. I have something better to put on his face. It looks even weirder. You know what? Maybe Taiyaki? Oh, but the 2% damage. Top left, top right, bottom left, top left. There's a way to do it in 3. There's a faster way. I know it there is. Okay, I'm gonna keep the sunglasses on hand because they're minus damage taken 2%. But we're gonna give the kid a snack. Oh, it's just floating in front of his face. It doesn't even match the mouth properly. Oh well. And then we come here and hit the switch. Yeah, the bandana doesn't really fit either. I don't know, I like it though. Maybe one of the other hairstyles would work better with it. Also, hello, Kamsi. Alright. Oh. Getting ahead of myself. PvE, I'm gonna go ahead and highly recommend the Stellar Saphir because that was the last time I used a boost card, and I was blown away by just how smooth and easy it was to get through Awakening. Plus, I was even able to solo party dungeons on this account. Also, hello, Renkista. And Chaotic Bun, hello! There's a lot of differences between Aura Kingdom Impact and this one. I'm going to start with the fact that there's only 6 classes that are going to be available for Aura Kingdom Impact, which isn't much because we've got 20 available in the current version. But they are going to be revising, oh geez, like just a ton of things. So I've got a Actually, don't give bad information. Um, I've got a series of videos that outline like the specific details that they've announced are going to be changed. And then on top of that, I'm thinking the day before it comes out, I'm going to try to put together like a super quick, rapid fire, here's the changes, here's the differences, which one should you play? But if you want to wait for that, that's what I'm planning on doing. It's just oh yeah, no, I quit my job, so I've got next week off to do whatever I want, and that's just one of the things that's on the list of what I'd like to try. Okay, so there's a way to do it in 3. Switch. 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 Yes! Sorry, just it's been a long time since I remembered how to do it in 3. I'm very happy about that. No, nothing in the current version will carry over to the other one. Everyone is going to be starting from 0. Some of the differences right off the bat, they did change some of the quest line, especially in the first map, but someone told me that when they were watching some of the live streams that were in English that I didn't get a chance to watch, they found that they didn't really... Sorry. The demon. When I searched from some other people that the English live streams that I didn't watch, the later map, they didn't revise the questing so much, so that's one thing, that's kind of whatever. Another change they made is that you don't have to choose a starter Eidolon over the course of the main quest. You're going to get all 6, which is nice because, you know, 6 Eidolons. And you might know that in this version, you're stuck with a your starter in your party. That's no longer the case. You can use your starters wherever. Sage from Final Fantasy XIV. I'm gonna have to be real with you. I don't know what the Sage class is in Final Fantasy XIV. Is that... I think you might be talking about the Stellar Sphere, if I kind of preview one of the weapons here, like the class with the orb and the cards. Is that the Sage? Although I will point out that basically all of the classes in Aura Kingdom are DPS, especially the 6 that they picked for Aura Kingdom Impact. They're all DPS classes, which is kind of odd. But the Stellar Saphir does have a healing skill. It's one of the few classes that they've selected that does have a dedicated healing skill. I really don't know what they're doing with Aura Kingdom Impact in terms of the skills they chose. No, I didn't, Lousy. If you take a look, there's a copy right there, and a copy right here that you can't see. I was gonna try and take a noisy sip, but I just can't do it. Hey, Kiko! Oh, I should check out my masteries. I don't know what to pick here. Hold on. Okay, well, that sounds easy enough. Usual. Only a 2-8 on World Boss? Yikes. What time is next World Boss? Oh, I kind of like that one. Oh, Kiko, are you the lucky one that summons the goats? I'm still gonna use Break Defense, and then of course Best Defense. That should get us through. I might have to buy some upgrades to those before we go into Awakening, though. And then over here, got 2 more move speed points. Well, when the next world boss comes on, since I spent all or the majority of my LP on that fancy little sprite guy, let me know. Maybe we'll do a nice little world boss run. 6 minutes? Oh, geez, no, I'm not even gonna finish this quest in 6 minutes. Um, Hello, Pickled Onions. I do play with WASD normally, but especially when I'm just running dungeons, usually I actually plug in a controller, and then I've just remapped all the buttons on my controller to be the keyboard buttons, and then I use that. But when I'm doing quests, it's easier with the mouse and WASD. I like that it actually shows the lance that you have equipped when you use the Hymn of Doom. I think if you have a costume on, it actually matches the costume as well. Or a costume lance, that is. I don't have any costume lances, do I? No, none of these count as a lance. Okay, any cheap lance costumes? I kind of like the one that I'm using right now for the accuracy, but... yeah, make sure I'm gonna keep advancing the story while they go. No, nothing super cheap. Oh, I guess this one, no, that's not cheap. This counts as a lance, apparently. You know what? It's fine. We'll just use our goofy looking sword and shield and hide it. I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't reduce the size of the weapons for the kids. Right? Like, that is a full-size sword and shield. I mean, and the lance. The lance is freaking bigger than him. Oh, and I know the music's a little bit on the quiet side today because... I don't know, it just feels like a quiet day, but I just wanted to say that this track is, I really love this song. If you wanted to find it, it's called just a casket of books and an automaton. And it's the version from a special soundtrack. I don't know what the official name is, but it came up on my computer as the Journey version. Diablo 3? Is this what the music from Diablo 3 sounds like? Because the last time I played a Diablo game, it was Diablo 2. Hello, Moonshard. I absolutely am. The question is if the server opens at 9 p.m. on July 1st my time, whether or not I'm going to be awake enough to just immediately go live when the servers go live. So I'll kind of just be gauging myself over the day to see. Might be the next morning. And when it comes out, I do have some extra codes that I can give away for the Muramasa keys. So I'm going to be giving away some full keys for Muramasa. I've got 3 to give away. I mean, there's also some costume codes, but I think the Muramasa key codes are the best ones. That's just the codes that you get for the pre-register, so it's not like it's the being sponsored by the developer or anything. Just handing out some codes because secretly I kept swapping the link that I was using for pre-register that I put in my comments. Oh. So I filled up 4 accounts worth of goodies, and then I couldn't come up with any more emails to get any more. So I've got 1 for me, and then I'm giving away 3. Oh, that's that quest done. Yeah, we'll probably need to upgrade those before we go into Awakening. But the problem is I'm not going to have any regular dragon points by the time we get there, so... What class? Well, the good thing about the new server is that it's not really going to matter what class, because you'll be able to change your main class for free on, I believe they said it was like either... I'm trying to remember if it was 10 seconds or a 5-minute cooldown. I think it was 10 seconds cooldown, so you can just swap your class as much as you like. So I think I'll probably start with the new class. Yeah, you can change your main class. It's gonna be great. So I'll probably start with the new one. But if it's not as, like, super friendly to newer players, then I'm thinking I'll switch to Stellar Saphir. Because, like I said, my last Awakening that I did on a boost card, I was just blown away by how impressive the Stellar Saphir was in relatively poor gear. I mean, my gear isn't miserable, but it's not, like, super tuned. And I mean, it's going to be the same set of gear with the exception of the weapon, right? Like, I've got the same armor here. And that's actually one of the reasons why I fortified the weapon up to plus 20, is because I wanted it to be basically the same level of investment gear so that I can kind of compare how the classes feel when beating the Awakening. On my bow, I struggled a little bit, and I ended up, because I was just so exhausted after the 9 hours of streaming, I ended up just using one of my free, what do you call them, manuals, because you get free manuals every once in a while. Temporary ones, free temporary manuals, you get them once in a while. I ended up using one of those so I could beat it and go to bed. But oh, you noticed the flower, huh? That's important. Make sure to remember it. Oh, 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 oh. But yeah, so Scrub Bow, not going to be able to really compare the way that they performed in the Awakening because I was tired and I goofed a lot. But what was it I was going to say? I also didn't have her costumes and armor properly, or sorry, her costumes, like, shuffle stats and enchantment cards properly set up before I went in. And I think that's going to make a difference. So, like, 4% boss damage isn't exactly great, but it's something. 20% crit damage, that's actually quite good considering this account doesn't have a ton of crit damage, right? So this is going to be a much better comparison against how my Stellar Saphir did. I ran too far. Gosh, it's almost like I'm a villain or something lousy. No, I just find it fun. Why is it not letting me get... Oh, okay, I was probably in combat. Alright, so get used to using that one for the 2. Venreal, this one is actually from Genshin Impact. Yeah, this is, it's called Realms of Amnesia, and it's from the desert region Sumeru. Dinopow! Hello! You actually don't need to worry about the class that you start as on the new server Aura Kingdom Impact that will be on Steam, because you're going to be allowed to change your main class freely. Doesn't cost anything, and I believe the cooldown they said was either 5 or 10 seconds. So you don't need to worry, like you don't need to hesitate at all over your starting class. But I'm going to go ahead and recommend the Stellar Saphir. I think that's going to be one of the better classes to choose because they don't have a lot of options for healing, and the Stellar Sphere does have a healing buff, like a heal over time. It does 30% off the front and 1% a second after that. Unfortunately, Lass, I don't think that is an effect of the class. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, you might have just joined in, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna probably try the class that they've made specially for the server, just because I've never used it before. But I'm anticipating it's gonna be tough with very little healing abilities. So my second choice is gonna be Stellar Sphere. I might swap over to Stellar Sphere and level them both up kind of simultaneously. I think what I'm a little bit worried about is just how long it's going to take to level up. Because one of the things they've said is that they've put in, like, trade restrictions until you reach level 60, which is the cap, so... I wonder what that's going to be like. Like, how long they're going to make you grind to be able to trade. Because, you know, the people that were... I keep going back to thinking about those live streams. When the people did the dimensional halls, they got, like, at level 50, they got, like, a real chunk of experience. So it's not like they went back to the original experience curve either. I don't know. Do I do a insane live stream and say this stays live until I reach cap? No. Although, next week is my one rest week, so I can basically do whatever I want. Subathon? Is a subathon even really a thing on YouTube? How would that even work? Although, I was thinking I might try to see if I can get the Twitch simultaneous streaming working and do that as my first stream for on both YouTube and Twitch. It's just kind of nerve-wracking to think about doing simultaneous streaming. I'm not even good at single streaming. I should get a title. Novice? You know what? We're gonna go popular princess. We're gonna be a princess. Alrighty. Now, last time I did this, I accidentally got teleported out of the right area somehow. Or maybe it was just that I accidentally crossed the fire, so we're gonna have to be careful not to cross the fire again. But experience-wise, I think that this might have been kinda overkill. Actually, you know what? I can check if it's overkill. Hold on, let me open up a tab here. Go to my studio and check out the live stream I did with Stellar. Meet Stellar Scrub. Close that tab. Volume off. When I was at this point, well, how much experience did I have? Somewhere around the 45-minute mark? No, I was already done this at 45 minutes. I was moving a bit faster because I didn't start in Navia. Okay, I was level 88 at the end of the dungeon last time, so I'm already, like, almost 2 whole levels ahead. Alright, back to chat. Man, 2 whole levels. 100% Kamzi. The last time I was doing this, the only buff I had for experience was the regular blue sprite. And I think that's only 25 per... Is it 50 or 25%? It's not very much. So this time I pulled out all the stops because last time it took me about 24 hours total to get from starting the character to awakening. It took me a whole week of grinding, like 24 hours over a week of grinding. But what I found out in that time is that the Stellar Sphere was amazing for running dungeons. Absolutely loved it. It was fun, great ability to hit like all the targets, like great clearing mobs, and excellent damage on the bosses. And because it's ranged, you're able to kite quite well. Honestly, I am 100% if you're new to the game, play Stellar Sphere. Yes, the AoE is huge. At Chikun, I actually, when Gren got its rework, I did a 0 to 101 on Gren as well. I really do like its Chain Lightning. Not as good as Rav Chain Fire, but the Chain Lightning is... Wow. Lance used to have Chain Lightning. They took it away. Right? Alright, now, I'd be worried about the reflection a bit, I think, but let's see. Let's just try throwing a Hymn of Doom on the reflection guys and see what happens. Throw in a couple heals to get up my stacks. Throw out one of those, and then you... Ah. Oh! You nearly got me. No sweat. And I gotta say, I do like Ren. I don't dislike it. But it's just got that thing about it, you know? You remember back to the old days, all the Gren bots? I think what I like about Gren is that it's one of the classes that has a cleanse too. Like, not very many classes have cleanse. Blue vest, red hair. You know, the funny thing is that you'd think that the bots would have been made with the most efficient class possible. So, does that mean that secretly Gren was really the best class all along? Because when Ravager's Flame Bounce came out, they all switched to Ravager, right? Well, not all, but the later years of the game, definitely all Ravager bots. Oh, shoot. Don't die. Sad. I wasn't paying attention. Nobody saw, it's fine. But since we're back at the start, we may as well defeat everything, right? See, I was trying to get one of those stomped on all those mobs. I would have taken them all out, no problem, if I had gotten that. I don't think the Ravager bounce is slow. I think that the Ravager bounce is one of the best clearing skills in the entire game. When I'm doing like daily quests on my Ravager, it is the easiest of all of the classes. The problem with Ravager, though, is that it doesn't have the same kind of buffing and debuffing capabilities, so while it's really great for clearing, I don't think that it's the best for, like, boss DPS. Especially if you build around your Flame Slash, and you can't bounce around the boss, right? Because there's only one target. Come on, we'll try again. I'm just trying to get that guy. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Alright. Hymn of Doom. Now we should be fine. I didn't even get them all. See, this is what I mean by clear. When I run by these guys trying to attack everything on the way, but I miss a couple, that's bad clear, although I think this was user error, not class's weakness. Ravager, you throw out a couple flame axes on the way, and you've got everything following you. And I think that is one of the main reasons why I chose Ravager as my class on this account, the very first one that I did. Because it is faster, like, gathering up mobs, and I thought for experience and getting items and whatnot, it would be better. Especially since Grim is a really good flame starter eidolon, so I thought that would be a good guy to build up, and I actually did 4-star my Grim, so my Grim on my Ravager is actually quite good, but, you know, he's stuck there. And yeah, it's definitely not, like, the best class in the game, but I do think it's a really fun one to play. Just a little bit harder in terms of, like, beating bosses and whatnot. Whoop. Got a little overconfident there after I threw down the Hymn of Doom. Oh, we had to wait for it to open up anyway. And that's it for move speed. Succubus! Yeah, she's actually a really good support eidolon as well. I don't think I have her on this account, though. No, I don't. Was that too early? Yeah, it was too early. Long cutscene. The problem with Seraph is that he's very defensive oriented. So while in early game you might feel worth it to level him up for those, for like the, what is it, defense? I actually chose Seraph here just because I didn't think I had him on any of my other characters. But his stars are crit damage taken and HP up, which is nice when you're trying to survive. But later it's going to be a bit annoying because it's an eidolon that's not contributing to your damage at all, that's stuck in your bar. So that's not going to be an issue in Impact. And yes, hello Sora J! July 1st/2nd, depending on your region. It should be midnight between the 1st and the 2nd in Eastern Time. Or Eastern North America, I should say. Which is what the current Aura Kingdom is. Right, I made this mistake last time. Talk to her inside. I really hope they have a pre-install. That way I can sneak in and get my name right away. Yeah. Unironically, that was a, I just got a phone call, and it was literally gonna be about my car. I've seen that number a couple times now. Mid-evening, you know, I don't really want to say what my second choice name is if I can't get midday. Because obviously if I say what it is, then that makes it a target for somebody to yoink as well. But I do have a second choice name. And it's one that I don't have in the current Aura Kingdom. We're calling about your extended car warranty? Evening, night. No, it is a time of day, but it's not one that I think would be taken immediately if there was no reason, like if nobody else had like a particular attachment to times of day names. Don't guess. Poker face. No, it is not Dawn. It is actually literally not Dawn. I think some people that know me might know what the other name is. Okay, actually, story time. When I first got selected to be a game sage for Aura Kingdom, one of the Cutan. Hello, Cutan, but no, not mid-tier. That's a bit of an insult, even if it is accurate. Um, one of the other game sages that was kind of onboarding me in the process said that I had to pick a new name. Like, it was mandatory that I had to select a new name. And I was like, oh, you know, it'd be nice if you could make an exception because I really don't want to lose the name Midday. But if I absolutely must, I'd use this one. So there is a second name that is like my second choice. What a rapscallion, that guy. And then he told me, no, I'm just kidding. You can keep your name. It's like, come on. Come on. Okay, so I think with 15 point... You know what? We're going to switch over. And I am going to use some books. Well, those are even non-tradable ones. I must have got those on a recent Paragon. One book and it's already above my other one. There, we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to eat all my books. But that is going to put us in a great spot in terms of our point allocation. Crit damage or HP? I mean, this is... Oh, sorry, accuracy first. This is my off path anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. Alright. Now this skill... Oh, yeah, this is the double lightning one, or double blue one. Okay, the range looks large, but it doesn't have a, Oh, it does bounce! Okay, so this, if you wanted the lightning bounce skill, you gotta use this path. Hmm. Oh, does that mean that actually I should be playing on this path? Because technically I'm using a lightning lance. Oh, not this one, this one. Oh, wait, I'm level 90. I can equip it. What am I doing? That's 95 and that's 95. We'll just throw all of this on here so it's not taking up inventory space, but there you go. Now we're cooking with fire. Throw that there too. Sometimes, honestly, I think I'm distracted more than I am focused now lately these days. I just leveled up so fast I completely forgot that I had the gear, you know? But now my stats are looking a little nicer. I still need to figure out what to do with my emblem, so let's do a couple more rolls on the table while we're running around, shall we? Probably should have done that while we were in that instance. Oi, I think I wouldn't fall for that one. Hey, look there we go. Reflect 7% of damage when attacked. Huh. If I continue to insist and defend myself that I would not fall for that, I get the feeling that I would actually just fall for it later when I'm not paying attention. You're right. I'm sorry. You know what? I think we deserve another coffee since I got distracted, right? Where's my coffee? Right, I've learned my lesson. You resize it before you put it on the table. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. Like, they've made some choices I think are really good choices. And they've made some choices that I'm thinking, what on earth are you doing? Like, not having any healing classes after they've removed all the nocturnal effects, like all the lifesteal effects. And we've confirmed now that it's not just that they've removed the nocturnal sub-weapons, like I'm using here, where it converts damage into healing, lifesteal. They've removed the effect from skills that have lifesteal. They've removed the effect from eidolons that have lifesteal. They've removed it from everywhere. And then they don't have a healing class. A resident! Hello! Good afternoon! But yeah, so like they removed all that stuff. And we have... What is it? Wizard has a healing skill. It's a heal and a cleanse in our version. I believe that it retains that in the new version. And Stellar Saphir has a release that's got healing. 30% for the party, and then adds a buff that will heal 1% for, I think, the length of the release. So that depends on how much charge you have when you release it. And that's about it. So when you've taken out all the healing, and you don't have a lot of options for healing, that's crazy, but I'm like really excited to see what's going to happen. Hello, Dario, Amado. Yeah, we could totally use potions, but like... Potions? I don't know. You can see that I don't even bother putting them in my auto potion slot, usually. I wonder whether or not like the alchemy potions will be a bit stronger or something to incentivize you to actually create alchemy potions. I don't know. I feel like they have play tested it, so they know what it's gonna feel like, but yeah. That's where I was thinking that you might be able to like, because one of the things that they've got coming in Order Kingdom Impact is the ability to slot eidolons into your skills to change their effects or add new effects to them. So I wonder whether or not that might be where they might be able to incorporate a little bit more of like the ability to tweak your selection of class and to be slightly more support oriented or slightly more damage oriented. I don't know. I wasn't one of the lucky people that got any early access. I just got to watch some of the live streams. Well, watch the live stream, same as everybody else. And I mean, I was about to say, I have to assume they know what they're doing, but do I? Do I have to assume that? Oh, is it HST time? AK potions is so bad, I would argue that yeah, it's unbalanced in those respects, and that is one of the things that they said they wanted to change was the way that the combat works. Good luck in your drops for HST. I don't know whether or not random is the word I would use. I think they've it feels like they took a look at the way that things are and like how rigid the meta became, and they're shaking it up. So maybe random, maybe what we see as random to them is like a little bit more thought out in different ways than like, well, at least that I've considered. I'm going in with an open mind. Like when I first read that they were getting rid of Nocturnal, the first thing I thought was good, because there really is really rigid that there's basically very little alternative to using something that you can lifesteal, right? Like whether or not that's an Eidolon, a mount, or a Nocturnal subweapon, right? So you've basically got no choice but to use some form of sustain like that. Mm. Then you're in luck, Dario, because that is what we've seen so far. And, Kamsi, I certainly hope so, because if you've got to face Eidolons that are reflecting damage and there's no Nocturnal or immunity, then I don't even know how you combat that. Which is why I said, like, I'm not sure what I think about some of the changes, but I am, like, really interested to give it a try. But yes, the Eidolon archive, we've confirmed that as of the live streamers showing off their archives, there was only flat stats. Just your 6 flat stats in the archive. They also showed a lot of Eidolons in the list, but I believe there was only like 2 pages of archive as well, so there wasn't even very much in the archive right off the bat. Lastly, I wouldn't bet on adjusting the story. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna bet that considering they're adding in more languages, it's just gonna be a lot more AI translation. You know, the animation of Hymn of Doom before definitely fit more with the sound effects boop than it currently does. Like, that does not have a boop sound effect. The previous version, you'd kind of jump up and stab your lance into the ground. Theory crafting about the lore, huh? I think one of the problems is that because the translation is so inconsistent, you kind of struggle to see where it's an intentional writing choice and where it was a poor translation, huh? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my Stellar Scrub livestream. Where was I? Like, what percent was I at when I completely finished all of the main quest maps? I got to 97, just over 50% experience. Like around looks like about 97, 63% is where I was at the end of main quest. Mm. Is that going around these days? Memes about getting a job? It's a little close to home since I just quit mine, you know? Overarching plot-wise, I think after a certain point I just stopped paying attention myself. What I enjoy most about Aura Kingdom is just like, honestly, sit back, get your grind on. I find the combat inherently enjoyable just for fighting. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is what I enjoy. Actually, what I find really funny is a lot of the time when I get people that are not super familiar with Aura Kingdom commenting on my videos, they'll comment something along the lines of, why do you keep jumping? And I get it if it looks weird or if people find it really off-putting, but there's just something really satisfying about pulling off a perfect jump cast. I think you gotta try it to understand. Yep. These barriers, when you try to autopath past them, and you run into them, not only does it stop you up, but it makes the entire game lag, so whatever those barriers are made of, they should update for Aura Kingdom Impact. Not that this map will be available when it comes out, but, you know. Well, jumping in general as a way of getting people's attention in online games isn't new per se, but like the jumping while fighting, I get a lot of people being like, "Oh my god, just stop jumping." You can see we do. It's level 60. So that being said, weapon mastery unlocks at level 5 now. In Aura Kingdom Impact, that is, I should say. So you will start to be able to use your mastery skills right away. Can you imagine if they made it level 60 and you had to grind to endgame before you could even use the mastery skills? I was actually worried about that because when they showed the original weapon mastery screenshot to show how they were adjusting it. Oh, I have to wait for him to stop yapping before I can actually go place it. But yeah, when they showed the original screenshots for the weapon mastery, they actually showed the character at level 60. So I was worried that they might restrict it to level 60, which would be super odd. I mean, it's not odd for our current version because of how long it takes to get to level 60, but, you know. I want to get to the fun part. And that's actually one of the things that I was really quite happy about was when they showed the new dungeon teleport interface. You can use it to even get into directly inside of solo dungeons. So no more running around the map like a madman trying to get into all the dungeons right before they reset or anything. And from the sounds of it, some other people were able to suss out that the dungeon resets are going to work a little bit differently. But I didn't quite figure out what was going on just from the streams that I watched. Energy amplifier. In Aura Kingdom, yes, but I don't know for sure in Aura Kingdom Impact. I assume they won't remove that. That's actually something that I've used massively on my controller, is I set the PlayStation button to be the F key, and then I mash that to interact with things. I mean, you can see that I did it there, right? My mouse is nowhere near the energy diffuser. You can't close with F, though. And sometimes its aim is a bit questionable. As for whether or not we're going to get the quality of life stuff, I hope so. At some point in the future that we might see some of those quality of life things. But keep in mind that we're a year behind the Taiwan server, so if they start to implement stuff on the Taiwan server, it's going to be a year before we get it. I think once they accelerated the some stuff. Well, maybe it was more than once they accelerated a couple of the patches, but every time they changed the order of the patches, it seemed to introduce odd bugs. Where certain things wouldn't work with stuff that they released early, because when that patch was released in Taiwan, the thing wasn't there. I think specifically I'm talking about Eidolons got messed up when they released them out of order. So they've gone to pretty strictly sticking with the actual order of content that came out in Taiwan. Now that I think about it, relatively early on, when X Legend had taken over, we had a week where your archive stats got really messed up, and everybody suddenly had like a really, really weird archive where you got a ton of physical damage and all of your elemental damage was nerfed. I wonder if that was something similar where they tried to do something out of order and it broke everything. That was a long time ago now. And they just let it sit for a week, so for a week we all had really high physical damage and really low elemental damage. Yeah, that was nice. I really liked the 100% spawn rate as well. It was an official event, but they forgot to tell us it was on, so we just kind of figured out that it was happening. I'm pretty sure the endgame dungeons still have it, like the newest two, for Irene and, Irene and who? Gosh, it's been a while since I've run dungeons at the endgame. Irene? Gosh, why can't I remember the other Eidolon that spawns in the endgame dungeons? I'm looking it up because now I'm gonna drive myself mad trying to recall. Demeter, it's Demeter. So Iran and Demeter have 100% spawn rate. Tsubaki has 100% spawn rate. I think someone told me there's a couple other dungeons that have 100% spawn rate. I don't remember if Serena was included. Oh yeah, I don't know Otherworld yet. That's fine. Wait, how many maps do we have left now? I don't believe we're seeing any changes to the player models. When I was watching the live streams, I didn't see any significant changes between the existing player models and the ones that they were using. Like, nothing struck me as out of place. As for, like, the in-game models, again, not to sound, like, negative or anything, but I don't think they're exactly breaking a bank trying to upgrade a whole bunch of the assets in-game. So, I wouldn't bet on there being a whole bunch of new models. So Lance has that thing where it builds up crit rate as you go, right? Yeah, so we should be fine with that much crit rate. I should put this where I keep looking for it, huh? Man, if I had gotten early access... If I had gotten early access and they had only like paid for 2 hours of promotion, obviously I'm not at the level where anybody be paying me to try their games for any reason, but if I had gotten early access, I'm just thinking that I would not have stopped after 2 hours. I would have just kept going. Whoop. Oh man, I might have even just tried to level up a character all the way from 1 to 60 if they had let me in. Spoil the whole game. I'm gonna get... You know, I think I call them tones, but now that I'm looking, they're called tunes. Stack my tunes, throw down the Dark Lance, and voila. I wish they had actually properly announced that they were doing that, but I used that opportunity to clear up a whole bunch of my, well, I didn't have that many left, but I used it to clear up the, all of the missing, Eidolon Spawn achievements I had. It was nice. I liked it. Which is why it's really interesting that they have 100% spawn on the endgame dungeons. It's almost like they forgot they implemented that. You're right, Jedi. Unfortunately, they do quite bad patch notes. So you get something like Sky Tower changes, and you just stare at it and think, what does that mean? I still haven't managed to do a single Hero Sky Tower. I won't be able to this evening, so if I wanted to, I would need to have been entered right now, but maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll do my first Sky Tower in a while. How hello, Kaori Fuyuki. Kaori Fuyuki, sorry. Lance isn't one of the classes that's going to be available on release in Impact, right? What are the 6 classes? We have the new one, Floating Cannon. Then we have... Oh gosh, I don't know why my brain freezes every time I try to recall what the 6 classes are. Wizard, Stellar Saphir, Tachi... Oh my gosh, my brain, there's 2 more. Why is my brain failing? Gosh. Just open up my script from the last video. What did I say? Only 6 classes. Duelist, Wizard, Tachi, Starcaller, and Stellar Saphir, then the Floating Cannon. There we go. So Lance will not be available in the new game. And neither will Bow, which is a shame because I feel like the new Bow, because it's missing a bunch of AoE, like it's got very, very little AoE, having that with the ability to add AoE to skills using the Eidolon infusions, oh, Bow would be absolute top DPS class. You missed it too, huh? Oh. Ah, well, I finished my coffee. Well, I was up pretty late last night. I was actually trying to get the, as I said, I was trying to get the, News from the West, the thumbnail and the time I was going to start today. I was trying to get that announced last night. But I have some family visiting from out of town, so I was out and about, and I didn't get home until about 9 o'clock, and then immediately I'm like, all right, start working on the thumbnail, and then after like an hour, I was like, yeah, we're going to bed. Listen, for work, I was getting up at 4 a.m., a little after 4 a.m., so I'm used to being in bed by 9 o'clock, or maybe a little bit after 9 o'clock. So, today I slept in all the way till 5:30 a.m. But I'm still a little tired because I don't think I quite slept enough. That being said, we're like, what, less than an hour to awakening if my experience lines up good enough? Okay, I don't need to open that. My inventory is getting a bit messy here, so I was thinking I might do something about it. I think I'm gonna feed these to Awandon because I'd really like to 4-star Awandon. That's probably not a good choice, but she's pretty and I love her. If you're trying to be meta, please don't take this advice to feed up just the Eidolons you think are pretty, but... Pretty. Yeah, no bard. We're gonna find out, I guess. Probably want to sell these to a merchant rather than scrapping them for fragments, huh? Because I've got my fortification basically sorted out for this character. Don't really need these. Yeah, once we get to town, we'll just quickly offload all this junk item stuff. One more level and I can equip my accessories and trophies. Not gonna forget this time. No, still not gonna open that. talking about, Lousy? I think that Vaughn can probably control the way that he looks freely, however he wants to look, considering that he switches between being a giant dragon, a kid, and I don't know. I'm gonna say teen, but I don't know exactly how old they were aiming for with the middle version. But I get the feeling he gets to decide what he looks like. Because when we first meet him, he's using his childish appearance to attempt to mislead us into a trap. Alright, that's the wrong button. Sell off all the garbage items, and then I'll quickly just sell off all this stuff too. Did I really not lock all this stuff? Come on. Get your head in the game. Alright. And we'll sell these off too, because I don't really need them. I don't really need this either. I'm gonna throw that into my storage, because I don't really need it. You know, Lassie, I think people should be able to choose the way that they look based on whatever they want. I know for us normal humans, deciding that we want to look like an entirely different person can be quite an expensive endeavor, but even just in terms of clothing. Lately I started caring a little bit less about what people thought about me wearing slightly, I'm gonna use the word eccentric clothes. I was talking about this the other time too, well, if I'm trying to sell a bond trophy, I can't lock it either, right? Oh, hey, Yuto. Hello. I've actually made an entire playlist about what's, or a series of videos about all the things that they've announced and confirmed are going to be different about Aura Kingdom Impact. But if you're talking about the Lance, I still have not released a video about what changed on the Lance. Because I was going through a career change, and it was kind of all-encompassing, so I'm a little bit behind on that. All of the skills animations got reworked. I believe, I know on Bow every single effect was reworked as well. I don't remember offhand whether or not any of the Lance ones have, like, I mean, Hymn of Doom seems to be the same, but with a new animation, I want to say. Where's the Angry Otters? Over here. But I am planning, I've got a big full list of everything that changed that I'm going to be putting out a video about, hopefully over the next week while I'm unemployed. I'm sorry, I keep making a joke about that because that's the only way I know how to deal with the fact that I've left a job of 10 years. And I'm going to actually put the skills side by side so you'll be able to see what the old animation looked like and directly compare it to the new animation. No, Lance definitely got a rework on all the skills. It's just that on Bow, I knew the old skills because it was my main class, whereas on Lance, I was a little less familiar with it because I hadn't mained it. A lot of classes I have mained and actually gone to do grinding on. Lance is not one of those classes. So I'm kind of figuring out what's going on too. So for example, oh, I'm on the wrong path still. I could probably switch back. Let's see, what's a good example? Actually, no, I'm just super unfamiliar with the Lance skills. On Bow, they literally changed every single skill. On Lance before, I would just use the fire skill 3 times to build up the fire charges, and then use one of the icy, or yeah, ice marks skills, and then throw down a Hymn of Doom because I didn't actually properly grind any dungeons on it, which is why I'll need my notes to be able to do a proper video. Let's see, my notes are on my desktop. My notes are no longer on my desktop, huh? Oh, there we go. Lancer. The envoy paths were all adjusted as well, so if you were playing a lance or a bow before, make sure to double check your envoy path because it might kind of suck right now with the way that they changed the skills and orientation. You know what? I might be missing some information here in my notes. Oh, I should be focusing on actually fighting. It looks like the majority of the adjustments I have noted here had to do with the path effects, the weapon mastery path effects. So I might have actually made a mistake on that front. I thought that they were actually reworking all of the skills, but I guess the truth is they did change some of the icons for sure. And they did change the mastery skills, but for the majority of the main skills, it looks like they've just updated the animations. Interesting. And then I also have a note here that we might see some additional changes, and that could come either in 2 weeks, or it could come at a later point in the future. But I've got a note that says that after the initial release of the class rework, they then also did a follow-up changes. Just I don't know what the timeline was for that. Well, this is why I do this is why I normally do thorough testing before I put up videos. I'm just so bad on the spot. Oh. But I'm sleepy. Maybe I should get out another coffee. Hold on. Coffee. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. I am awake. I'm definitely awake. I know, right? This is definitely the song to be playing while I'm talking about how I'm goofing up on the information for Lance rework. So this Lance skill here, Infernal Exile, is definitely different from the old one that you could use while you were on the ground. Like, it's a massive change, but it's also not one of the mastery skills. So I wonder if my list of changes is a bad copy paste where I missed some of it from the person that had posted it in the Discord, or if I just haven't read it closely enough. Oh, shoot. I wouldn't say that the mushrooms are bald. I would say that the cap is part of them. I think so. I mean, if you consider that you could chop off your own hair without actually harming yourself, and you can take off the mushroom caps apparently without harming the mushrooms too much, then it would have to be equivalent to hair, yes? I don't know, they're cute. When you have one of those mushroom pets and they're following around behind you, the way they have to like run with their little legs really, really fast is very cute in my opinion. Eggs. Oh, do I have any mushroom pets? I don't think so. I don't have very many pets on this account at all. No. Although I should pull out a pet. Accuracy, not a bad idea. Alright, we're gonna use this guy. And I'll throw him in the auto potion slot for now, why not? That's the other thing about the new server that I haven't quite figured out what's going on. The auto potion slot has been removed and replaced with another tool. And it's just a toggle on or off. It doesn't have a percent, it doesn't have an item slot, so I really hope that we can still use that little item assist guy to like auto trigger pets and whatnot. But oh, Kimsey, that'll make it so that if I die, all of my pets despawn, right? And when you change maps, sometimes your pets will despawn too, like especially if you go to Navia, your pets will despawn. So by putting him up there, it will automatically use him, right? And especially at 99%. So a video that or a short, I guess I should say, that I made about the auto potion slot and all the different items you can put in there. My favorite joke that I've made, I think, on my entire channel, to be honest, is dragging a paint window of a manual up over top of it, because one of the things you can do is just put your manual in there and then it'll automatically reuse it every time that it the timer on it runs out, so you don't even have to think about it. Honestly, I kind of wish you could like have a bunch of them. So if the new auto item management system has the ability to like set multiple items at different percents or something, that would be cool. But I don't remember anybody in the live streams testing out the new replacement for auto potion. Yeah, the scythe pets, you gotta remember to spawn them. Because I believe when you enter Navia, they despawn, right? I know what you mean when you say pets. They're pets. I think the fun thing about Scythe is being able to have a pet, a contract, your 3 pets, or summons, I suppose, and then your Eidolon, so you can have like an entire party just following you around constantly. Yeah, the AoE on that seems to be pretty good. Oh yeah, is that still bugged? The fire spawn? Or the fire spirits for instead of your summons on site? Oh. Scythe is unfortunately another one of the classes that I actually have not played a ton. But I want to. I really want to level up my Scythe because my Scythe on my main account looks super cool. Like, she is amazingly high fashion. Despite being basically dressed only in items that were available in-game. Like, it's a super inexpensive one, but like, it's a good costume. I mean, I wouldn't say its AoE is as good as like Stellar Sphere, but yeah, like the main that main dark skill, the one with the big circle on the ground, is really gigantic looking and very satisfying to watch. Wait, did I actually apply my mastery points after I didn't switch path back, did I? No, I didn't. I still have this skill that I've barely been using. Gosh, I don't even really know what to do with these points. Don't take advice from me here. Okay, skill on the tablets. Oh, dear. I think Lona is pretty. I kind of wish that there was like a Lona contract. She didn't deserve to die. Spoiler for the end of this dungeon, I guess. I mean, I could probably bring them to the boss, but whatever. Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage. Or trust people in general, they could be living in your walls. I'm fairly confident that I don't have people living in my walls. Fairly confident. You're with one of these, and then one of these. I kind of feel like that could do more damage. Oh, thank you, Lousy. No, it's fine. I appreciate you going into my walls and taking care of anybody that was there. That worked pretty well. Now, last time I also went into Awakening without like a proper set of DPS food. I think it's chicken pot pie for the triple strike food at level 90. Maybe we'll try making a chicken pot pie. How about that? We'll try making a pie, and if we can make it, we can take it into Awakening. Yeah. Yep, last time I definitely goofed and forgot to talk to the NPC after, so I'm locked in. I do that so often. Honestly, though, it's so easy to just walk out without... I am going to switch weapon mastery now. Okay. So we're going to take that, and... I'm going to take the crit damage. Speaking of things that I've forgotten... Oh, shoot, that's just fucked out. That didn't go in my second slot. How come you guys didn't remind me about my gear? Because this is definitely your guys' fault, not mine. Alright, and then before I go back into combat, switch my gear tab. Looking good, looking good. How's my crit damage now? 176, but if I'm on main, it's 200. Plus crit damage against bosses? I think that we are sitting pretty for crit damage. Yeah, that's about right. 300% crit damage cap. And I got 206 plus 110. 85% boss damage? I'm feeling pretty good about that. 53% pen, yeah. Now, I think I get more crit damage from this, so I might actually be overcapping a bit. Oh, I am massively over. Oh, but it goes up to 350. I'm massively overcapping my crit damage. Huh, what can I change? What do I not need? I don't have a secret stone there, huh? No, that's not what I meant. Right, so the problem I'm facing right now is that when I'm in combat, I have too much crit damage. And I can't use it all. So do I have any masteries that are crit damage related? I don't think so. I think I picked attack and damage taken. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be great once I get to level S5 and I can equip Agni. So I didn't need this at all. Oops. Alright, we're gonna reset. I think it's worth a reset for that much of a mistake. We want that. We want that. We want that. And then I'm just gonna throw the rest into HP. Lona's fine. She's just taking a nap. We'll come back later. Right. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at winking. Well, we could probably sell off those gearboxes too, since I just, oh, okay, yeah, I'm still above where I started, because you start with 500G on an awakening character. No, wrong button. I'm still getting used to my keyboard. You haven't heard me complain about struggling to figure out the buttons on my keyboard for a while, because I am doing pretty good. But there's some stuff I'm still figuring out. We're gonna throw that on there. Then we're gonna sell off the rest of the garbage. Garbage equipment. Right. Good. Let's go. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that an expensive keyboard just is all it needs. Like, you don't need an expensive keyboard to find a good one. I definitely think that there was probably cheaper options for ortho linear split keyboards than what I got. But gosh, I didn't know a lot about keyboards before I started searching for it. There is a lot to learn about keyboards. Where's the Lance guy, huh? How come I can't see him? Whipmaster, Duelist, Guardian, Ravager, Wizard, Shinobi, Greatsword, Reaper, Ronin, Stark. Oh, there he is. Tokens for masteries? Oh, that's only regular masteries. I needed the... Or sorry, that's only class masters. I need the regular ones. You know what? Secret stones. I'm gonna buy one for my lance just because... Oh! I like that one. I don't have a fancy one. Ideally, I just want damage or accuracy. %2 accuracy. I'll take it. Yeah, my accuracy, as you can tell, isn't... Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. Okay, my accuracy, as you can see, isn't, like, bad. But more accuracy doesn't hurt around this level. So I'll quickly go slot that into my weapon, and then we'll keep going. I could even throw some luminous secret stones on it. So another thing they've changed is that you no longer have to come to a merchant to do this. I don't think it's that super inconvenient to have to go to a merchant to be able to inlay secret stones. But if you're changing main weapon, I can see it getting a little bit more annoying with having to swap them around and stuff. Anyway, I can't get any masteries because I don't have any regular dragon points. Kinda wish you could convert the gold into regular. Two more maps! Two more maps. Desolate Desert and then Secret Forest Lake. But I think it's probably going to be like 4 quests more, or 4 more quests, and then we are already going to be at the point that we were when I finished on my Stellar Sphere without any buffs. And I think I'll save trying to do it like running through the Dimensional Hall until the very, very end. Because if I can get all the way to Awakening without using it, I'd rather do a Dimension Hall S1. Yeah, we're gonna pass on the Dimensional Hall for now. If necessary, later we'll do it. But I think when I turn in this quest, I'm literally gonna be past the point. No, one more quest and then I'll be done the point where I was when I finished last time. You know, we might still be a bit short. Might not be able to do Awakening today. That's okay, though. I might have to take a good solid nap this afternoon. Actually, you know what is a better comparison? What was my experience on my scrub bow at this point? Live streams. Scrub bow day 2. Ah, we're definitely not going to make it because on Scrub Bow, I was already level 98 when I was beating the boss in Glacial Ice Cave. So we are still going to be short. But, like I said, I didn't promise to get to Awakening today. However, that is interesting information. Very interesting. Even the best of experience buffs aren't enough to get... Well, this isn't the best. If I had a Navia Feast, that would be better. What other quest experience buffs are there? You can use... a couple quest buffs gave a little bit of quest experience buff, like the ones from the wedding quest, as well as the anniversary, no, not the X-Legend anniversary, but the Navia Town anniversary quest gave an item that would increase your quest experience. Those were special events, though. I don't have the proof of missions on this because you don't get any when you do a boost card, which is interesting. Hmm. And of course, if I had waited until level 91 to take the Yola. Fix what? What are they supposed to be fixing here? Oh, you mean that you don't get any of the proof of missions because you don't get the goodies in the mail if you do a boost card. Or even just like a small pack of other goodies that includes some proof of missions. You have to have a level 60 character to be able to use a boost card. So theoretically, you do have that stuff somewhere on your account by the time you're using a boost card. But it would be nice if you could have like a copy for this character. Because right now all you start with is a set of plus... If you don't use a boost card, you just use the guitar start. I mean, even if you use a boost card, because I did, all you get are these relatively bad plus 10 gear set. Highly recommend not continuing to fortify that one. The fortification transfers would have been nice to have, though, now that I think about it. Because you could take all that plus 10 gear and like transfer it to something actually decent. But, I mean, I've got plus 20 gear here, so I don't need to. Now, these maps are pretty quick, so I wonder whether or not I'll make it to 98 by the end of the map. I think I'm gonna keep stacking HP. Nah, I don't think we're making 98 by the end of that map. That was only 3% on that quest. What else do you miss out on when you use a boost card? You miss out on the cute little costume. Like when you do the Wrathborn Temple Showdown, you get a little costume. Oh, that reminds me, I still haven't done the timestamps for the Warbow stream. Oh. I gotta make a list of everything I need to do. Actually, I should start that list right now before I forget. Where is my notepad? Notepad. Yep. Do timestamps on Warbow stream. Okay, it's on my notepad. Aha. Right, well, last time I had a bit of fun on this one in that I missed a bunch of the mobs, so... I think my speed is overcapped enough that even in the Awakening realm it'll be fun. So I'm gonna throw this on... I'm gonna keep throwing this on damage. Because this buff is crit rate as well. Now, I think the issue I had on Warbow is that in order to get that giant crit rate buff, you actually have to not jump around, which is a little bit harder when you're in Awakening. think some of the other bosses don't hit quite as hard and it would be easier to take advantage of that. Oh, there's a group over there that I missed again. Pull enemies towards the target. Pulls enemies around the target to the target once. What? That could be a good one to use after Hymn of Doom then. Okay, maybe I'll put that over here, because I haven't been using Sacrificial Lance. Oh, but look at this. Those are great debuffs. Ugh. Reduce total death by 10. There is a lot of really good buffs on these skills that I am just not using because they're not in the space that my hands could reach. I'm gonna have to start including these with the mouse. Oh. Total death. Damage dealt. Oh no, that reduces their damage, not their resistance. Okay, so maybe this one's definitely more of a defensive thing, right? But that might be nice in Awakening. Now, I think I'm a bit too strong for this to work on the mobs here, but it doesn't. I don't see the pulling in effect that it's talking about here. Pull enemies around the target to the target once. That's not a great translation. I'll have to try that in a dungeon because usually it doesn't work on bosses either, so... Yeah, kill them so there's not even a chance to see the effect. Alright, how about this? If we switch over to our other gear set, and then we use it, maybe I'll actually be able to see its effect. No. I'm gonna have to research what the heck this is supposed to do, because, maybe it's supposed to pull enemies around the enemy you're using it on? Like if I use it on this guy. Okay, so it pulls the enemies to the target I use it on. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. I still think that jives with the way that you would use a Hymn of Doom. Oh, the pup is staring at me. No, she's back to her bone. I think she'll be okay for the... However, it shouldn't take too much longer to finish both the maps, so I think she'll be okay. But I do have the Stella Time graphics ready to go if necessary. Oh, hello, Lodic! Oh. It doesn't appear that we're going to have enough mainline quests to get to Awakening on a boosted character, even using the 2, or I guess 3 best experience, or quest experience buffs that I've got. So we're not going to finish this character's Awakening today, I don't think. But if that's the case, I think I'll do my best after I take a nap to grind out a bit more and hopefully go live again tomorrow with the finishing up. Oh, more. Oh, I'm too tired. We need another coffee. That one will fit nicely in the back corner here. How about that? Yay! Oh! I think it's the way that his jacket reacts with it, right? The way that his jacket flaps up when he's running, it looks silly. And the faster you're moving, the worse it looks. What time zone am I in? I am on West Coast. That means it is 1 in the afternoon. I have no reason to be this tired. I just am. It was a rough week for various reasons, but I mean, I left my job. And then I had some family that was visiting from out of town, and I didn't get back home until pretty late last night. And then I was trying to get together the stuff that I needed for my live stream today, and I was up a little later than I should have been. I think I said an hour earlier, but now that I think about it, I spent an hour gathering up items from across my Scrub account to put together... number one, this ensemble that looks ridiculous. I reshuffled the costumes so that they had the right stats on them, because I think that's something that I missed last time. And once I had all my gear in the shared warehouse and ready to go for today, I started working on the thumbnail, and yeah, I think it was about 11 at night that I was like, nope, we're going to bed. And then I got up at 5:30 because that's considered sleeping in for me. Oh, I guess you're right. So originally my plan was that when I said I was going to go live on Saturday, I would create the planned live stream start time on Friday night so that you'd be able to see with a little bit of notice what time it would be at, no matter where you were. But unfortunately, I was just so tired last night and I didn't finish off the work that I needed to do to get the thumbnail out. So I waited till this morning. Hello, Jikazuki. Unfortunately, I don't think there is a very good chance that that would ever happen, and the reason is because of the number of changes that they're making that invalidate a lot of equipment and eidolons that we have here. So, for example, nocturnal sub-weapons are what we use for lifesteal to kind of sustain. And that nocturnal effect has been removed from Order Kingdom Impact. The other thing that they've removed that's really big is immunity eidolon. So anybody who's spent money getting an eidolon for its ability to make you immune to damage, it's not really fair to them to just say, okay, now it's gone. And on top of that, right now, the servers are going to have different classes. So this server's got 20 classes. They're only starting out with 6. Yeah, unfortunately everybody is going to be starting from 0 though, so at the very least it's not like you're going to be the only one wearing the default costume, right? it's easy to farm LP. Because I remember from the live streams that you could see that there was a lot of costumes and whatnot in the LP store, so you will still be able to farm some neat looking stuff for free without having to actually cash or anything. But in our current version, farming LP early game is quite challenging. Oh boy. No. There we go. Now I can't move, but at the very least I was able to get them, huh? Let me attack! There we go. Well, at the very least, you'll be able to play all of the classes on one character, so you don't have to level up a bunch of characters like I do to be able to try everything. There we go. How come I didn't get rid of the cultist? There we go. Man, that demolition lance is a strong one. I still feel like I want to play dark. But that's a strong one. Anyway, yeah, sorry, you'll be able to play all of the main classes without leveling up multiple characters, so at the very least, you don't have to lock yourself in to a choice right at the start anymore. HP. Yeah, so unfortunately, the only 6 classes that are going to be available, let's see if I can remember them this time. We have the new class, the Floating Cannon. Then we have Duelist, Tachi, Starcaller, Stellar Sapphire, and Wizard. Yes, I remembered. And those are all DPS classes, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes without any healing effects and like 2 healing skills in the entire game. I feel like Sub Wizard is going to be extremely popular because that's the one of the healing classes, or that's the one that's only really got the 1 healing skill, like a proper healing skill. Yes, you're gonna have to have basically what they have for the being able to change your main class is you'll have the ability to equip a weapon for each main class, and then as you switch, it automatically swaps your weapon for you. So you'll have like a little archive of weapons, and you just slot in the ones you want to use for each class. And then when you switch, you're automatically equipped with the weapon that you should be using. But also, hello, Alan. Alan? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd reach 98 by the end of that map. The skills appear to have the same icons, but they've removed any skill effect that had any lifesteal. So I believe one of the gap closers on Tachi had a little bit of lifesteal built into it, so it would work regardless of whether or not you were using a nocturnal weapon or something. That lifesteal effect is gone. Same thing for Kotonoha here, if you're familiar. She has a buff that allows you to absorb 10% damage for 10 seconds here? Yeah, it's 10 seconds. That's gone. It's now a defensive buff. I wonder if that means that... I know people were talking about potions. And yeah, Lodic, it's weird. So the main... They've removed all of the lifesteal effects on skills. So the classes that have dedicated healing skills that are there are going to be Wizard, which has the little heart icon skill, I can't remember its name offhand, which does a little heal over time plus cleanse for the entire party. And then you've got Stellar Sapphire that has a healing release, which is a 30% up front and then 1% per second for a little while. So we were talking earlier and we were talking potions, make potions stronger. I'm starting to think about it, and maybe we Maybe we use Eidolon healing more? Maybe we use Eidolons as our dedicated healers? It's definitely controversial whether or not people are happy or upset about losing Nocturnal. I feel like I would be happier if we still had bards. um, the Eidolons that they've shown so far are mostly the same. However, they've also announced the what do you call it? Oh gosh, you can tell I'm tired. I don't even have words anymore. The Land Cat crossover campaign, the cross promotion campaign. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but basically, there is a new Eidolon that we're going to be getting for free. I believe it might require some in-game playing, but we'll get this big Land Cat. I think it's cute. I could see why some people might think it's a little bit creepy. But no, I like Land Cat, and it's going to be an Eidolon that you'll be able to summon. The other thing they've said is they're going to be having physical Eidolons. So the way that I read that is that they're going to have Eidolons. Like you see attribute here, we have Storm, Fire, Lightning, Ice, Holy, Dark. There's no physical category, and as it stands, there's no Eidolons that we have that come pre-set with the physical stars. So if you want physical stars, you have to go re-roll them, and there's no Eidolons that are just by default actually physical element. You've got ones that are other elements that have physical buffs on them, but not by default actually physical element. I believe they're going to be adding that. So whether that means that Gigas is no longer going to be lightning, they're going to change him to physical, or if that means that they're going to start adding in new Eidolons that are physical, we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I kind of hope it's the latter. I hope they add in some new Eidolons to fill the new category and start ideally they would have oh, I lost my train of thought. New Eidolon. Ideally, they're not going to release all of the Eidolons that exist in game right off the bat. I could see from the live streams that there's like entries for them, but they only had like 2 pages of Eidolon archive, and again, that was revised so that you're not getting any fancy stats. It's all just flat stats, so it's not as broken as a understatement. It's nowhere near as broken to have a high archive with what they had so far. So I'm thinking that you're going to be able to see a lot of Eidolons, but they're not going to all be available right away. And once we get the opportunity, maybe to look in, maybe one of the earliest things I'll be doing is coming in here and scrolling through the portraits and seeing if we've got anything new. Now, with regards to the register task, hold on, let me check, because we're pretty close to release date. Global pre-registration. No, it's still not highlighted, but there's a lot of people that are saying they think it's fake. They think they're just gonna unlock everything to pretend that there's a million people that have pre-registered. So we might be walking away with a free Alucard. Oh, I didn't even put my pre-registry link. Oh, you are? I don't know if I want to stay live because I would like to get a coffee, but if you wanna run some dungeons, absolutely, I'd be down for that. I'm not 100% positive how much I'll be able to contribute. Yeah, I don't mind either getting free stuff. I think in total across the 4 codes that I generated and shared across my YouTube channel. Oh yeah, you could pre-register. I suppose I could get you a pre-registry code and post it in the chat. Why not? While we're auto-pathing here. Pre-registry. Yeah, in total across all of my accounts, I've got, oh, you can do it right there. Across my accounts, I've probably got about 200 total. pre-registries through my links. So I did my part. As for the client being only on Steam, I don't know. I don't think it would be only on Steam. Because generally they, like if you release a game on Steam, I think you have to have a shop through Steam and then Steam will take its cut, right? So I think usually they prefer to have a standalone launcher as well, and personally, I think I would use a standalone launcher if it was available over the Steam one. Now, unfortunately, because I am a volunteer moderator for the official server, I don't really talk about the private servers, so no comment. Yeah, Steam, I don't have an issue with Steam per se. And I have to have it running now because obviously the VTube Studio runs through Steam, but personally, I prefer to have games in their standalone launchers. I don't really like having Steam running in the background. But it is what it is. Angry. That snowman's just so cute. Oh my gosh, there was an event that we had, I think it was this year, where one of the items you could get was like a melty snowman hat. I never got the orange version of it. Is it on this account? No. No, I don't have it on this account. There's this really cute hat that looks like a tiny little snowman melting on your head. It's adorable. Man, I hope when they rerun winter events that item's available again. Alright, so I'm gonna make an estimate. I think that with a dimensional haul, we'll probably be just under 99. By the end of the quests. Maybe that's a little optimistic, but... It's good to know that just a VIP... Good tutorial. You know, Elodic, I don't know. When I was watching the people that were playing from... playing on the live streams and they started at level 1, I saw that they had done different tutorials for a couple things, but they only had, like, for example, weapon fortification tutorial and that I really got to see. I didn't see tutorials for like weapon mastery or the Eidolon infusions and stuff, but it seems like they are changing some things. I know one of my big complaints is that there's a lot of stuff that they just literally don't tell you. Like, suddenly pen is a thing and there's just no explanation. You just suddenly start doing less damage. They don't explain it at all, and I hope that they would change that. As for night weapons, nocturnal is the term we're using because that's what the prefix is. It's this right here, where nocturnal prefix weapons have lifesteal built in, so every time you do damage you get a little bit of lifesteal. It's this, I can't mouse over it because it vanishes, but it's at the bottom of that first chunk of green text there, where it says it converts 3% of damage dealt into healing for the user, but 90% less effective against bosses in multiplayer. Oh no. I think one of the things that strikes me as so odd is after I've been playing for so long, I don't even know what the game doesn't properly explain to new players. So the kind of questions I get, it's like realizing afterwards, oh yeah, it never really does explain that. They added that fuzzy flower cooking tutorial thing in Helonia Coast, but then they made it so that that's one of the very few quests that you can't auto-path for, so we get so many people asking how do you get to the fuzzy flower because they click the button and it doesn't go, even though it's right next to them. That's probably sounded really weird out of context, the fuzzy flower. It's supposed to be a gathering and cooking tutorial where it walks you through how to gather items and then it gives you like a pretend cooking tutorial. Yeah, the dungeon debuffs too. Like at some point, dungeons just start reducing your stats, and if you're not paying attention, you might be wondering what the heck happened to all of my stats, because you'll be capped on speed and crit or in crit rate. 3-color stone thing quest. Oh yeah, do you mean the one from oh gosh, the 3-color stones? I'm thinking the one from Chronology Forest, where the description says, oh, 3-color stone thing where you click the auto run and it didn't. Oh, okay, yeah. So where you have to run around Port Scandia, for that one you actually right click the stones to use them, and that's how you auto path. But you're right that for every other quest you just right click you click the target and it takes you there, whereas for that one you have to click the items to use them. I don't think so. I don't personally think so, because I picked it up pretty quickly myself, but I'm not everybody. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but I think that different people have different levels of like exposure to the language of video games. Super interesting videos that I've seen where people that are gamers get their maybe I'm specifically referencing one, but there was a video I watched where a gamer got their significant other to try playing games, and things that they were very familiar with and the game didn't explain. They just knew from the way that the game was designed what they should do. I had a similar, whereas their significant other would look at it and have no idea, because the language of games that they use, that developers use to tell players what to do without like directly obviously telling them what to do, wasn't very obvious to people that don't play games. I've actually never played Ragnarok Online, so I don't know how Ragnarok Online works myself. But like, for example, my sister is a couple years older than me, and she doesn't play a lot of games, but she really, really liked the look of Persona 5. So my brother was kind of getting out of games, so he gave her his console, and she tried playing Persona 5, and there was a lot of stuff where for me it was just like really obvious what you should do, because I know the way that, especially I played other Persona games, I know the way that Persona games go. I kind of have a gist of what to expect, whereas somebody who's literally never played a Persona game before would just be like, I don't know what to do now. There's no indicator of what I should be doing. I don't remember the exact circumstance that it was that she called me the first time, but it was like, oh, no, you just gotta do the thing. Like, I think a good example would be yellow. Like in a lot of games, they use yellow to indicate things that you can interact with, like yellow paint on ledges or yellow indicators on things. It was just, she'd literally never been exposed to that kind of language of games. So that was a long way of saying that for some people, yeah, I think that's, like I said, that's kind of just one of the things, that the way that people who are familiar with MMOs kind of have a background knowledge of just in general the kind of things that they should try clicking on, whereas people that aren't as familiar with games might struggle. And maybe the developers are in the same position where they feel like something is obvious, but it's not. And I mean, since I've been playing the game for 10 years, or more than 10 years now, it's the same for me, that sometimes I look at something and I feel like it doesn't need an explanation, but it's just because I've been so familiar with it for so long, right? Which is why it's really cool to read the comments. Good luck. You know, that's what old gaming was like too, way back in the day. I never had any of the super old consoles, but I remember there was that disc that had the first 4 Legend of Zelda games? No, maybe it was just the first 2 and then Trials for the other ones. But like, the first Legend of Zelda game, it took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out that I should go in that cave, because it just sticks you on the map and it's like, hey, you're on the map now, go, right? Yeah, I think you'd be fine, Lodic. But I do highly recommend if you have the opportunity to look up videos like that where people that like video games share video games with people that aren't as familiar with them, and just kind of seeing the things that trip them up. It's really fascinating to see how it compares to your knowledge of games. I keep trying to jump. Uranim's pretty cool, yeah. I like them. I like the design, I should say. I'm trying to zoom so I can see his entire costume and it wouldn't let me. You know what? I underestimated it. We will be level 99. So if I had been using, what was these here, quest experience books, I bet you it would have been enough. Listen to them rather than the quests? I'm guessing that didn't go so hot. You know, I did play World of Warcraft a bit. Super late. It didn't really capture me either. I don't really like games with subscriptions either, because it feels really sad to know that if you stop paying, it's just gone. I want to say that when I played WoW, it was probably around... Oh, it was in the middle of my... It was in the middle of university, and it was after I had played Aura Kingdom, because I had a friend that was really big into WoW, and she was like, yo, you gotta try it, you gotta play it, you like MMOs, you'll love it. And I guess the combat just didn't click. That must have been like in 2015, 2016-ish range, because it was after Aura Kingdom came out and I'd been playing for a while. Man, that's ages ago. It's not going to be too bad to grind our way up to 99%. So for sure, tomorrow I'll jump in for a quick live stream, knock out Awakening, and punch through the S1 maps. Because I may as well finish before my my fancy sprites are gone, right? Yeah. Don't like the game that require you to pay per month if the game catches you. Although nowadays every single player game pay to win. Yeah. Now, you guys probably have noticed that I'm really resistant to making specific guides for classes, and part of the reason for that is because I am not very try-hard. So, I'm not super... not super big on, like, it's fun to be able to nuke a boss, but what makes it fun is having struggled up until that point, right? Because it's a little bit on the boring side if everything is just a nuke, right? It's much more fun if after spending a while struggling to your way through something, you then manage to make it. And if the difference between that is just like oh, I spent 20 bucks on RC and got a lucky roll on Paragon, that's kind of boring. But if the difference is that I went and I fortified my gear and I came back and then I managed to get through, that's fun, in my opinion. I don't, but I can tell you that it will have to be before the time that I started today because my buffs last 24 real hour time. So I'm probably thinking something along the lines of 9 to 10 server time, because that's 6 to 7 my time. If I want to finish all the maps, I'll need a little bit of time afterwards too. But I'll decide when I see how much experience I need to be able to make it. $5 American would be enough to make Midday play Team Fortress 2. Isn't Team Fortress a PvP game? Sorry, I just realized. You know, I don't have anything necessarily against games being shooter games. I haven't actually played many in my day. Could be an interesting experience, but I don't like PvP. It makes my heart spike. Heart rate spike quite a bit. Because I don't want to let down my team. Terra! I played Terra. I was always on the lookout for a game that might catch me more with the combat than Aura Kingdom. And I know people say that Aura Kingdom is really simple, but it just hits the right spot for me. Guild War 2 PvP. It's really hard to make the right decision in PvP when your heart rate spikes over 100 just because you're nervous about letting down your team. Alright, so about 75%, huh? We'll throw in a Dimensional Hall, and then I think we'll call it for the day. Kiko, if you want to run dungeons in a bit, I think I need to go make another actual IRL coffee. Oh, 70%. Well, I'll run a Dimensional Hall first. But Kiko, if you want to add me as a friend so that I can DM you when I get back from making your coffee. Ion 2. Oh no, I'm gonna have to tell you that I've literally never even heard of Ion 2. Hold on, what is this? Ion 2. I might. I can't say that I will, as a friend. I can't promise that I would stick with it because you can only play so many games when you're working full-time. But I like giving new things a try. Oh, what did I try recently? There was something really silly. Frick, what was it? Where is he? It was on Steam. Where'd it go? Oh, right, sorry, they released a solo leveling gacha game on Steam, and to my understanding, it is a re-release of an already existing game, but I decided to give it a shot just because, and, you know, it was, the combat itself felt a lot like God Eater, actually, so it might have been my jam, but I don't really want to get into more gacha games. Alright, so I think it was a little less than 10% when I did this on my character last time. So let's see what we get this time. The other one I want to try that should be coming out not too long is, what do you call it? Blue Protocol is actually going to come out in English. Like another company got the rights to it, so it is eventually going to come out. I'm going to play that. I'm going to try it. Phantasy Star Online, no, I have also not played that. There's you guys are going to think I'm a casual. The show for Solo Leveling, big fan of the composer for the music, so yes, I watched it. You don't need to engage with a fandom for a game to necessarily enjoy it, so sometimes you're right that the communities for gacha games can be a little bit much. Yeah, less than 10%. Alright. Oh, that's right, there is season 3 coming out, huh? I actually haven't even looked at the shows for next season yet. Alrighty, so I have 40% to go. We've got a pretty good suite of buff items that I can pick up before running some dungeons, and that should get me there. Let's take a peek. Okay, so I'm sorry, Chikazuki, I like Genshin Impact. I've got a Genshin Impact Deathmat, and I just got Skirk, and she is so much fun to play. I'm just having so much fun with that game. It's really relaxing, and I like the combat, the reaction system, really enjoyable in my opinion. But yeah, it's hard to play a lot of gacha games, that's for sure. Alright, just a quick peek. I've got a premium experience card. I've got some mastery passes. I've got regular experience cards. I can pick up some of the brown experience cards from the LP store. Yeah, I got a pretty good suite of experience items. I didn't actually use a Navia Noble Cuisine because it's only monster kill experience and weapon mastery experience. So we can use one of those for running dungeons. Yeah, we got a good suite of items to use here. So I am going to call it, oh, good luck, Van Riel. Skirk's so much fun. I don't think you'll regret her. Although I really wish I got her weapon. I ended up getting Shenhe's weapon. That's 100% fair. I think they need to release more cool guys. Zenless Zone Zero, I never picked up that one, Martin. Like I said, too many gacha games, too little time. They all want a little piece of your wallet too. It's kind of sucks. Now, Vandriel, I did say in the past that I don't want to do live streams for Genshin Wishes because I don't think that I really want to encourage people to spend money on gacha games, because it's my personal opinion that you probably shouldn't, and I personally can't afford to spend money. I mean, I just quit my job, so I'm very much can't afford to spend money on video games right now. Is this where I should plug the contest for the Discord or Discord invite thing? On my community tab, you will find a couple posts down. I think there is a link to the Aura Kingdom Impact Discord, and they're running a giveaway with Steam cards as the prize. There is a Steam game I would really, really, really like to play. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. It looks beautiful. I would really, really love to play that game, but I can't. Now's not a good time to be buying games. Like I said, I'm between jobs, and hopefully my new job is good. But if I win, I will get Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and I will stream it for my birthday. Yay, that's the plan. If not, I guess I'll not. Aura Kingdom or Genshin account reviews. I don't know if I'd be able to do a very good job of that either. Anyway, go use my invite link. Chikasuki, I'm actually between jobs right now. I quit my job on Friday. That was my last day at my previous job. I'm starting a new one. It doesn't have a set in stone schedule, so I don't know what days off I'm gonna have, but it is what it is. And yeah, it's hard to cost of living crisis all over the world, so I don't really like the idea of doing gacha streams where I might encourage other people to spend money they feel like they shouldn't spend, but making it feel like, oh, everybody spends money so it's okay to, kind of desensitizing people to playing gacha. So my personal opinion is we're not going to do any gacha streams. So that's it. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. I do want that coffee, and I'm already tired enough. That was probably mostly incoherent, but thanks so much for sticking around, and thanks for chatting with me. And we'll within the next 5 hours, I will put up the time that I will start the live stream tomorrow. That way, if you want to join in, you'll be able to actually see what time I'm planning to start. So, thanks for stopping by, and we'll maybe catch you tomorrow. I'm miserable at ending streams as usual, but thanks so much for stopping by.